Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The topic I'm presenting today is complementary and alternative medicine or therapies. So I will be starting with the general definition. So complementary and alternative therapies are the practices or medical products that are not part of standard medical care, or you can say that they are not part of conventional medical care, or you can also say that they are not the practices or medical products which are being used or being performed in hospitals, in modern day hospitals, or by general practitioners only. So or you can also say that these are something else from the allopathic mode of medicine. So when we say complementary therapy, this term means that it is something which is in addition to the allopathic medicine. Okay, like we are using those conventional mode of practices in medical therapies. Along with those conventional modes, we are also using something else which is complementary to it. And when we talk about alternative therapy, so this term means that we are completely not using those allopathic mode of or conventional mode of therapies, but we are adhering in place of that to something else which is not part of those allopathic mode of therapies. It is something else. So what is that thing which we are using? So these are those alternative therapies, and here are some examples of those alternative therapies. Yoga, acupuncture, type therapy, Reiki, massage therapy, chromotherapy, meditation, medicine, homeopathy, hypnosis, acupuncture, Ayurveda. So in this part of the presentation, I won't be discussing all of them. I will be only discussing which I'm supposed to for this presentation. But before going into the examples of those therapies, I will be first discussing at what health process we are studying it, and what is the role of pharmacists in these therapies. For this, I will be going through an article from the Pharmaceutical Journal. So it is dated from like 1st January 2005. So it shows that how old is this practice, and it is not like something which is new to the world. It is being used from a lot of time. So I'm not going to discuss all of the article. I will be just discussing some important details which I highlighted. So it says that use of complementary and alternative therapies has grown enormously during the past decade. Estimates of use vary, but BBC survey in 2000 suggests that 20% of the UK general population had used some type of complementary medicine. So it says that 20% of UK general population has used it. So it is a big number. So it shows that how important it is for a pharmacist to be able to know about these things, because large amount of population is in use of it. So then it says this growing interest of CAM should be directed wisely. Not all complementary therapies are free of risk, as is the case with all of the medicines, and advice in health food shops and on internet is not always reliable. Obviously, you cannot search directly from internet. Like we don't give patients to just search on internet about conventional therapies and make decisions. So it is much more difficult for alternative therapies that they should be searched on internet, because there can be a lot of misleading information on internet about those therapies. So as a future pharmacist, you will be able in to offer sound, impartial advice to customer and patients to ensure that they use these therapies appropriately. So that a lot of population has used or is using and will be using in future as therapies. So it should be well and sound in the giving advice in the therapy. One important thing is that what is the difference between a conventional and complementary and alternative therapy is the main difference is that conventional therapies have a lot of scientific and evidence-based data which is supporting those studies. And regular studies are performed on a daily basis. There is like huge amount of investment in those studies to predict accurate results, which can be beneficial for future health-related outcomes. But in case of complementary and alternative therapies, it is not the case. There is not a lot of like good scientific evidence to prove these therapies to be very beneficial. These are mostly like based from traditions, and like some group of or one man gets a beneficial result out of some kind of therapy, and then that verse is like propagated all over the mass of people. So then this article talks about the general definition of CM, which I just discussed. Like it says that complementary is the term which defines the therapy which is used alongside conventional therapies, while alternative are those which are used instead of conventional therapies. We are not using the conventional ones, and we are only using the alternative ones. And there are some examples. I will be discussing 3 to 5 examples which are supposed to be discussed in this presentation later. So how can a pharmacist be involved in CM? So it says that through the sale of the products, such as dietary supplements, herbal medicines, homeopathic remedies, and oils, like you can be directly involved in sale and purchase of this kind of. And we have seen in some pharmacies, even in Pakistan, that they use they use like herbal medicines. They are using herbal medicines along with their, which they brand themselves as their company brands, and they are selling those. And people are very interested in buying those things. One such example can be of Hamdard. Hamdard is a very famous kind of brand in Pakistan. They use these kind of therapies, and people are well aware of them, and they use their products a lot. So another thing how pharmacists can be involved in CM is by providing information on the appropriate use of CM. Then they can ask questions about the use of CM to the people who are using them. Because as I have said that there's not a lot of scientific evidence to prove like to establish the facts about these kind of medicines. So you can ask various people who are involved in taking those therapies and ask their views of what are their views about these therapies and how beneficial are these therapies to them. So the pharmacist should be aware of the potential adverse effects and interactions with conventional medicines. Obviously, that is the role of a pharmacist to provide information about the adverse effects of allopathic medicines. So when people are using these therapies, of which like the adverse effects or interactions are not established through any literature, so it becomes very important that a pharmacist is researches about these things and is aware of these things. So uh, providing information. There is an important aspect in providing information, that pharmacist should provide information to the therapies to the level at which he is trained or competent. This is a very important point, because if a pharmacist goes beyond what he knows, then it can lead to like trouble. Like in complementary therapy, he doesn't know if he advises some like dose which was like overdose, or like some kind of herbal thing which was not suited to the patient, or which might interact. So this might lead to like various kind of troubles for the patient and for the pharmacist himself. So the pharmacist should only prescribe those things which he is trained in, is competent. Otherwise, he should leave it for somebody else to do that stuff. Okay, so the Royal Pharmaceutical Society makes it clear that the public trusts pharmacists to offer informed advice on treatments and medicines, and the profession expects pharmacists to ensure that they are competent in any area which such advice is given. Yeah, the public is like believe in pharmacists, especially in foreign countries, and they want pharmacists to be aware of these kind of therapies. So it becomes pharmacist has responsibility of getting knowledge about these therapies. So this again says that pharmacists should not recommend any therapy which they have any reason of doubt about its safety and quality. So this is a very important point for me, what I think. So mm, this point again says only to offer advice on homeopathic or herbal medicines or other complementary therapies if they have undertaken suitable training or have specialized knowledge. So these are some other points which talk about the roles of a pharmacist. So the first example of alternative therapies is acupuncture. So it was originated in China from over 5,000 years ago. It involves the use of needles, so a special kind of needles which are inserted into specific points of around the body. This helps to relieve pain of the body. So it works on the principle that endogenously certain chemicals or neurotransmitters are released which help to relieve pain. Another principle which is common is that it lowers down the sympathetic activity to relieve anxiety and pain kind of stuff. So here are some of the treatments or things which are treated with acupuncture, like cancer, pain, sinusitis, migraines, arthritis, asthma, infertility, and anxiety. The next treatment or therapy I'm discussing is related to herbal medicine. Herbal medicines are involve the use of plants to heal the body or plant parts like leaves, rhizomes, roots, seeds, fruits, flowers. All this stuff we have studied in pharmacognosy, and all of that subject deals with the treatment of human ailments with the help of herbal drugs and the ways those herbal drugs are extracted, the active constituents, and how all this is worked out. So unfortunately, herbal supplements can be sold without being proven to be safe or effective. This is a major problem with herbal medicines, but WHO has set up pharmacovigilance for herbal medicines as well. The organization pharmacovigilance body for that. But still, in developed countries, it can be a source of problem. While developing countries are taking initiatives to overcome that. So the next therapy is homeopathy. So it was developed in 1700s in Germany. So the word homeo means similar and pathy means suffering. It works on the principle that if a person having a disease has some kind of symptoms, and a drug, when given to a healthy person, the drug produces some kind of symptoms. If the symptoms of the disease and when the drug which was given to the healthy person and the symptoms produced due to the drug, if symptoms of both the disease and the drug are same, then the drug can be given to the diseased person to treat the disease. But then the drug will be given in small amounts or diluted phase. It also works on like and like principle and dilution principle. But one important thing to note is that homeopathy is not accepted by a majority of scientific personnel in today's world, because it is incompatible with modern day scientific methods. Many believe that the drug being so much diluted is not potent enough to cause any treatment. One such example is of onion. We know that while cutting onion, water is we feel watery eyes, and our nose and eyes give away water. Onions, in homeopathy, it is believed that onions can be used to treat rhinitis or runny nose. Similarly, bees poison can cause swelling. So if somebody has swelling due to some other case, bees poison can be used to treat that swelling. That's the principle of homeopathy. As I've told, that modern day practitioners don't believe in it, but still it is a big industry. Many say that it is a monopoly of some people. That's why they are promoting that industry. But the main thing is that it is not supported by a lot of scientific evidence. In many of the countries have stopped funding for the creation of homeopathic medicines like this. And one I was reading on WebMD that FDA doesn't even look into like the whether doesn't have a regulation on homeopathy, that whether the homeopathic drugs are does they cause any serious side effect or something serious drug interaction, because I think they believe that they are not so much or toxic, or they believe them to be inert, so they are not much concerned about their side effects. So people believe as we know that many people still adhere to this kind of treatment. So why is that? So people say the modern day science personnel say that it has just as an effect of placebo. So the people who are getting treated due to this therapy are just is an example of just as being treated by placebo. So what happens is they take a drug and their mental imagination triggers certain chemicals to be released, which allows them to feel comfortable and allows them to feel much more relaxed and treated from the disease. That's all about homeopathy. So another type of therapy dating back from thousands of years and is part of Chinese traditional medicine. It is acupuncture. So just as acupuncture, acupressure is also used in conjunction with it. So what is believed in acupressure is that there are 12 major meridians in a body. Meridians are channels through which energy flows. The name of the energy is named as ki. So the chi energy flows through these meridians or channels, and when there is some kind of blockage or some kind of ailment inflowing of that energy, this leads to discomfort or various kind of illnesses. So what treatment is suggested is through acupuncture, that by relieving the flow of these channels, by stimulating various acupuncture or points near on the channels, that ailment or pains can be relieved. So modern day practitioners do not believe that there are any kind of channels in a body, but what they say is that what the stimulation causes is this relieves muscle tension or allows certain body endorphins to be released, and it improves blood flow, which later assists in the treatment of any sort of pain or certain kind of ailments which are caused and treated due to acupuncture. So the next kind of therapy is aromatherapy. It works on the principle that these are basically plant extracts which are which work through the sense of smell and skin absorption. Means like these extracts are breathed in through nose, or are put in or applied on the skin. And what they do, they act on various nerve cells in the body, and which in turn helps the brain or the nervous system to release various chemicals which stimulate the limbic system, and which help to control our emotions. So these essential oils or aromatherapy, they provide us with a fragrant smell. So they have many positives to come with, like they're used to reduce stress, agitation, treat headaches, improve digestion, boost immunity, makes someone feel happier, insomnia, depression. There are many such kinds of effects which they can produce. Many people believe that they also help to relieve joint pain, but that's not a big research study. For what an example I can give is like of good perfumes or good ethers. Like I have a strong liking for good ethers. Like the expensive ones are the original ones, the natural ones, and the good ones. They're usually expensive. So what I have personally myself observed, that yes, they help in these kind of things, which the positives which are written. They help in reducing stress. They help in reducing agitation. These are the good things which I have myself experienced with putting on some kind of good kind of ether and these kind of stuff. So this is aromatherapy. So the next kind of therapy is reflexology. It is also it is also from traditional Chinese medicine, and it works on the same principle as acupuncture and acupressure, where you stimulate certain parts of your body to relieve pain. But in reflexology, you're only concerned with the hands and the feet. You stimulate certain pressure points in your hands and the feet, and this helps you to relieve pain, to help you feel relaxed, energized, and treatment of anxiety. So the last therapy which I will be discussing in this presentation is the Bach flower remedies. So Bach was a medical doctor and a homeopath who created Bach flower remedies, a system in which he designed uh, he designed the system for the treatment of various emotional problems and things. So in the system, various wild plants are used, and various extracts from those wild plants are used to treat those emotional problems and pains. So how we use this system of Bach flower remedies? First of all, we check for the emotional problem we are having, such as fear, uncertainty, lack of interest, loneliness, oversensitivity, sadness, or care for a person who cares for others at the expense of his own self. So the type of flower is selected according to the type of emotional problem you are having. So first of all, somebody is feeling sadness, so he will choose a flower which treats sadness, and he will be facilitated according to his emotional problem. So this system contains 38 remedies, each of which addresses a certain kind of emotion. So I won't be going in all the details of each and every flower, because it is beyond the scope of this video. But it is an extensive kind of topic, Bach flower remedies, which can be studied further. It involves various plants. It is some kind of chapter which is also a bit of interesting. So I'm ending my presentation with Bach flower remedies. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.